Hi lovelies, welcome back. My name is Ellie Michelle and my channel is all about empowering women to create fulfilling paths beyond the traditional workplace by cultivating their unique skills and talents while fostering a community that celebrates beauty, authenticity, and personal development. So today we are going to talk about finding your signature style. I'm so excited about this. You guys have no idea. So when I initially owned my own business, which was in 2017, I want to say 25, 26. At the time, I was still growing into who I am today. Over the years, I started to develop my signature look, not only in the hair and makeup that I did, but also in my personal style. Finding your signature style, especially those women that are looking to create a brand, already have a brand, want to rebrand themselves. I have 4 things that I want to touch on today that I think are the most important and things that helped me when I was trying to figure out my signature style. The first one is, what kind of woman do you desire to be? That is something that I had asked myself while I was in LA because I wanted a specific clientele and I know how much I wanted to get paid. And also here in Tennessee, I knew what kind of clientele I wanted, although this region is not like LA. If I'm being honest with you guys, this region is, their cost of living is a lot lower, so I had to make a decision. Am I going to keep my prices the same? Am I going to basically base them off of the region or the demographic that I'm in? Okay, what I want to let you guys know is I actually kept my prices the same, and the reason being is because of my signature style. Not only how I did makeup, but also how I represented my brand and how I carried myself. How are my services beneficial to the client? So for example, I knew that I wanted to charge X amount for a bride. My prices are more high end, and so therefore the clientele that I want is high-end clientele. And so if I want high-end clientele, I had to carry myself like a high-end businesswoman. It doesn't necessarily mean heels every day or face beat every day. That doesn't necessarily mean that. Just a clean look. Just have your hair done, your makeup done, even if it's light. And if you don't want to wear a lot of makeup, at least make sure your skin is glowing and it looks moist. You can also just put on a mascara and a lip gloss, but for me, I always just wanted to look put together. And one of the ways that people notice if you're put together is how you present yourself, especially first impression. What is she giving off? And I want to give off, like I said, I wanted high-end clientele, so that's what I gave off for myself, high-end. The next question I asked myself is, how does she show up? And this does have to do with first impressions. I remember earlier in my career, I made mistakes. I showed up not always caring, showed up not necessarily always prepared because I didn't give myself enough time to prepare the night before or even the morning of the appointment, but I try to get ready the night before so I don't have to worry about that the morning of, if that makes sense. First impressions are, to me, everything. Now, of course, there are some first impressions where you meet someone and you're like, you might not get a good feeling, or it might be a bad first impression and then that person does a different impression the second time you meet. However, first impressions, I always think it could be my first and last time meeting this person, and if I'm running a business and if I'm representing my brand, I want it to be a good first impression. And then thirdly, you're not always going to get it right. And this goes back to me in my younger years when I was like in my 20s, I'd say mid 20s to even like late 20s. There's a lot that I had to change professionally and how I showed up for my clients, and then also how I showed up for myself in my business. And I want you guys to show yourself grace. Like, you're not always going to get it right, and that's okay. But as long as you improve, that is what matters. If you are continuously, you're not always getting it right and you're messing up on the same things, like let's say you're running late all the time, or let's say that you do want to make sure you're presentable, whether that is through your hair or light makeup or how you dress. You want to make sure that you're not repeatedly making the same mistake. There's a thing that's called nonverbal communication, and these things speak louder than verbal communication at times. Okay, so next, know what style are you drawn to? So this is a really good one. The reason being is because I love that we are in a time where you can authentically be yourself. Like, there are makeup artists that I know, they're more edgy. Even not just makeup artists, but business owners in general. They're more edgy, they're more minimalistic. And then I know my girls who are, they do a full face every day, full face beat every day. They like to dress up every day or every other day, and that's okay. All of those things are okay, but you just want to know what style that you are drawn to and start there. You don't have to necessarily keep the same style, but have a go-to style. I think that helps me elevate my brand. So for example, I love a business casual look. So I love a good dress pants with a plain shirt. And I'll put some examples up here for you guys, but I like dress pants with a plain white tee or a plain black tee, or even like this. This is a bodysuit. Usually I like plain tops, but then I like to dress it up with my accessories, whether that's rings, whether that's earrings, whether that's hair, whether that's makeup. And like I said, business pants. I love business pants because, again, you could dress them up or keep them business casual. Also, I like very neutral tones. So whether that's black, whether that's brown, cream, or white. Now, I do throw color in my wardrobe, but I'm not necessarily a color girl. Like, I do have color, like I said, but usually I like to wear a lot of neutral tones. And I'm the same way, like, in my home, like, neutral tones, very earthy tones. And that's just usually my style. Also, though, sometimes my style, I also have Nikes that I like to wear. And if I do Nikes, if it's more of like a tomboy look that day, like with a hat or a beanie, then I'll make sure something is elevated. So if I'm dressing more tomboy, I'll make sure my makeup is more elevated that day, just to offset it for myself. Boots with a little heel on them, or I will wear all black outfits, especially when I go do hair and makeup. I usually wear all black outfits because for me it's a clean cut look and it's very chic, and that style just works for me. I love it. And when I'm out and I'm not working, I always try to still embody how I see myself and my brand, and it comes out in my wardrobe. So that's how I look at it too, because for me, I look at, even though I'm going out and maybe I don't have a client that day, there's potential for me to meet a client. And if I'm being honest, I have to be better at that as well, because sometimes I'm just dressing very chill or very athleisure, and even if it's athleisure, I still just make sure I'm put together. Okay, number 3, what is your mission statements? This is a great one. So if you do not have a mission statement, I highly encourage you to get one. The reason being is because this is going to hone in on your niche and also your clientele. In order to come up with a mission statement, you do need to see who your audience is. So for example, my audience is women from 18 to 45. This can be women that just graduated college. This can be women that they're stay-at-home moms. This can be women that just started their brand. This can be women that they don't know where to start with their personal development. And that is my niche. Okay, that is my clientele, or that is my audience, I should say. And what is your why? So you always want to ask yourself, why am I doing what I'm doing, and how is this going to bring value to others? One thing that I was praying about is I want to make sure that whatever I'm doing is bringing value to others. Because I've realized that when I bring value to others, I really feel like I am contributing to those around me, and that I am giving back the way that God has blessed me. I'm giving back to you guys as well. Also, you want to ask yourself, what are your values? Okay, what are your goals? So some of my values are, for example, some values can be authenticity, so being yourself. Another value can be showing up for others, those closest to you. Mental health, it could be self-awareness, fostering a closer relationship with God. Just depending on what your values are, write your values down. Last but not least, what do you want people to think when they think of your brand? Okay, so I'm going to be very transparent with this, you guys. Very transparent. So there's been times, actually often, where I have to take myself out of the business owner and put myself as a client. And I've done that not only in my business, but businesses that I see all around me. And so it's given me a different perspective, especially that of the client. Okay. So this goes back to first impression, and it goes back to nonverbal cues and nonverbal cues. When I wanted my clientele to see me, I wanted them to think luxury. And this could look different for everyone. Luxury does not always mean monetary. Luxury can mean clean products, clean makeup products. Luxury can mean knowing your business inside out. Luxury can mean how you treat the client. Luxury can mean how you make the client feel, how you make your client feel, how you make your audience feel. Luxury means something different to everyone. I want my clientele and my audience to see value in either the service I'm providing or either the content that I'm providing for them as well. Especially with how I talk, I like to speak eloquently. I like to learn new words. I like to read. I realize that when I enhance my vocabulary and when I learn, I am already looked at as smarter. And my mom always said this, and it's so true. There's no such thing as smart, and there's no such thing as dumb. There's a such thing as if you want to learn something new or you do not. And I've learned that I like to learn things new. I like to learn new things. I like to teach people things. And I like to carry myself at a high standard. When my audience sees me, they know that. Why? Because of how I present myself. How you present yourself, whether we want to admit this or not, is essential, especially when you're running a business, especially when you're branding yourself, or especially when you're rebranding yourself. So I want you guys to really sit down and take some time and write these things down. Write these things down. What do people see when they see my brand? And am I cultivating the clientele that I am wanting to cultivate, or are there certain things that I need to pivot, certain things that I need to adjust in order to create a different clientele? Last but not least, what do you want your clients to look like, and how do you want them to carry themselves? So a couple years back, I actually wrote what I wanted my client to look like. I've had like 3, and one was I wanted clients to be mothers. I wanted them to have steady income, and that was one. The other clientele is I wanted women that were business women, women that inspired other women and empowered other women. I wanted women that loved makeup, but they loved like a natural glam, because that's my signature. I do natural glam. Is I literally tailored my website. I tailored my Instagram to the clientele that I wanted. It's very simple. You just have to do it, okay? Truly, like attracts like. I believe that. My mindset and how I carry myself attracted the clientele that I wanted. And the clientele that I didn't necessarily desire, they did start to fall off, or they found another brand that suited them better, and that is okay as well. So I hope that these 4 points helped you all. Please comment down below if you guys have any more questions, if any of this resonated with you, or if I can help you in any other way. And thank you for watching. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, and make sure you guys turn on that notification bell to know when I post next. All right, I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.